So hello and welcome again. At the end of the day, you must be very tired. I might have some good news for you if you're interested in Google's opportunities for faculty. So I'm going to first present the programs that we have for faculty members. And then at the end, if there's something that you would like to ask specifically for your case, or you think that there is something that you would like to suggest for us to do in the Middle East for faculty members, then please just raise your hand and let me know, okay? So, what do we have for faculty members in MENA? First, before I start with the programs, I need you to imagine with me what is the current status of educational systems, specifically higher education in the region. Let's say, for example, in Jordan. How would you describe the educational system? Specifically computer science. Yes, please.
About these programs, we use model program, model.org, maybe you know this, is for educational purposes, yeah. But we meet a lot of problems because it's not Arabic enabled interface.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's good. It's better than.
You're talking about a specific program that you use.
Yeah.
I was wondering how would you describe the educational system in general? So is it up to date? Are the curricula new? How would you describe the status of the students? Your own challenges? Please, can you please introduce yourself?
Yes, Joe Khalifi. I teach computer science in Lebanon, Lebanese American University. In fact, I could talk a bit about computer science in Lebanon, and I would say it's comparable to any place in the world. In fact, we have one advantage, and probably it's a disadvantage. We don't use any Arabic in our curriculum. In fact, most of the students that we have don't do any search in Arabic. This is, by the way, even though they are up to date, it could be a disadvantage for those living in the region.
Yeah.
Other than that, in fact, the curriculum at our university, other than being accredited locally, internationally, ABET accreditation, our students would go to any university in the US and they will have, even in the US, better or even better GPAs and so on. So in fact, our students are a bit
you don't have any problems at
not really any problems,
your university.
except that what's interesting is what Google is doing now, and it's a new trend in technology. Would like our students to stay up to date with those trends.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Could you please hand the mic? Can we get an answer? Somebody from Jordan as well? Yeah?
Assalamu alaikum. Dr. Iyad Abudos from Yarmouk University in Jordan. Actually, I finished my PhD before around 1 year from USA, and I have been teaching in Jordan before going there also, so I'm involved a little bit in the education system for computer science here in Jordan. I think the main problem for education, computer science, is that the curriculum focus in theories more. There is no using or practicing the programming like actually in the past while I was studying in Yarmouk universities, there were many homeworks that the student had to finish, and you have to work hard to program and to code a lot during courses. But these days, because the number of students are large, because I think the focus more was on using slides in the teaching, and also there is no teaching assistant to help you to grade. These are the main problems. So the teaching focus more on the giving the theories, and maybe at the end of the course there is a project, but there is no homeworks for programming.
No real, yes, no real.
There's actually, for some of the courses, there's a course and a lab for the course, so they teach the students some programming, but I think the main problem here is you need to have, at least the student has to have each week a programming problem, so
more practical work is needed.
Yeah.
Okay, can you give it maybe to, yes?
Hello, my name is Dr. Christina Klaas from Jordanian University. We are quite young university here in Jordan, and all our curricula have been developed together with German universities of applied sciences, and the focus is really to be applied also. So we have in all our courses, either we have labs or we have projects the students work on.
And do you face any challenges?
I mean, we face challenges that we need to help students to get there. So the point is, students who come to the university, they are not so much used to to work independently, but we try during the university program with all the practical work and teamwork and independent work to bring them where they need to be when they go to their exchange year to Germany, because there they have to be independent.
Yes. So anybody has some insights on research? How was research in Middle Eastern universities? So can you maybe take, sorry.
Simon Dawood from Zafar University. One problem I have met the research group. It's not easy to construct a successful research group because the low number of research the researcher in a specific field. We cannot find, for example, a lot of researchers work in machine language, machine learning, yeah, or other specific. This is the main problem I have.
Okay, thank you for, I'm going to come back to your specific questions. I just wanted to get some feedback whether everybody's happy with the current situation or whether there are challenges or maybe opportunities that we can work for together. So personally, I can share with you an experience from my time as a student and then as a teaching assistant at a couple of Egyptian universities. And I have to tell you, some of the curriculum that I was taught, I was teaching 5 years later. And this curriculum that I was being taught was the curriculum that my teaching assistants back in the days were being taught. And those had the same curriculum like 5 years ago as well. So we had like in a pretty new computer science faculty, a computer science curricula from the 80s or early 90s. So for me, of course, and it's still somehow the case in some universities, I'm happy that in Lebanon, for example, curricula are really advanced and that the students compare to universal standards like US standards or European standards. But unfortunately, doing my research, doing my homework, and looking into how things are in most of the Arab countries, it's not.
In Damascus, we still have Windows XP.
Yeah, I mean...
I swear, they still have Windows XP like that.
But I mean, this is still a tool. How about the core itself? What students are being taught?
It's even older.
Yes, and research, حدث ولا حرج. It's true. I mean, take a look at actually what is the amount of research that the Arab world produces? How is it relevant to the local needs?
Sorry.
Yes.
Compared to the other world, the Western world.
Yes.
We have no resources like that.
I mean, okay. So the Arab world has around 370 million people, right? And you have a country like Turkey, which produces 40 times more research papers than the whole Arab world. Just one country.
But we have no resources.
We have human resources, and this is, yes. Okay, I don't want to turn this into a discussion. I'm just raising some points to see whether there are challenges or not, and apparently there are challenges. I'm going to come later on to personal comments. So, is Google able to help? In a way. So we are sometimes able to just give tiny opportunities, and then you as faculty members, I assume most of the people in the room are faculty members, or hoping to be. You have to work on this, so yes. So one of the things that we're trying to develop is to help professors actually help their students. So Google helps professors provide better education, of course, if they need to, because it's something varies from different countries. So actually, we did have a professor from Lebanon in a workshop, like the one I'm going to talk about now. And we started something that we call the Web Technologies Workshop. And this Web Technologies Workshop is actually a place where the professors gather. We have 3 or 4 Google engineers. And actually, we go back to the time when we were like students, writing codes, preparing an application, running it, debugging it, actually living the practical part that we are missing while being professors. And we get sunk into research, we sink into theories, and we lose the touch, as they say. So these kinds of workshops actually are only dedicated for faculty members. So we only invite prominent professors with a lot of energy, with a lot of hope to change, and actually we give them ideas. In this case, it was a web technologies course. We hope to get more feedback from you on what is lacking as well. other courses that are lacking that Google specializes in order to provide you with these workshops. This workshop, for example, was a 2-day workshop where first we introduced professors to the Google Web Toolkit and to the Google App Engine, and in fact, also a professor from Jordan, from PSUT, Dr. Ashraf, yes, at the back, was an attendee of this workshop. And I hope it was beneficial, was it, Dr. Ashraf?
Yeah.
Great. Okay, so at the end of the couple of days, you actually produce a running application using Google App Engine, and you get all the tools, all the resources that you worked with, even with a guideline of how to prepare a similar course for university. Okay, so this is one initiative that we try to do. And for this initiative, all we need is just a few people who are interested to make a difference, interested to renovate, to update, to upgrade. This is all we need, and then we do all the rest. Okay? Put the groups together. This one was in Egypt. We had professors from Morocco, from Lebanon, and from Jordan as well. And we really hope to do this at least twice a year. So if you're interested, just let me know. I'll put you on a mailing list, and for the next workshop that we hold, you'll definitely be invited. Okay? So this is one program. Another kind of program that we do is we offer tech talks at universities, technical talks by Google engineers. These talks could be on Google technologies or generally the latest technologies like HTML5. Or of course, if you are specialized, like you were mentioning, for example, machine learning, or it could be data mining. If you have a specific topic that you're interested in as educators or as researchers, of course, you can tell me, and then I can find the suitable engineer or engineers to give a tech talk at your university. The same could be the other way around. If you reached a specific, in your research, a specific important point that you would like to share with the engineers at Google, of course, we invite you to one of our Google offices. Usually it's one in Europe, so it's not that far away. And then you can present your latest achievements to the Googlers and maybe also pick some contacts and work together. So these are the Tech Talk series. And actually there is, thanks to Dr. Ashraf, we have an upcoming Tech Talk at PSUT, actually this Wednesday, on one of Google's technologies for data mining. It's called MapReduce. So it's as easy as telling me just some time ahead of time, just give me some time to prepare with the engineers because you don't have engineers here in the region. Just tell me I would like to have on this day a tech talk. I'll have students or professors that are interested in topic X, and then I find a suitable engineer and arrange for that.
Can we get an invitation to this talk with more details?
Probably Dr. Ashraf is handling this, so if you could arrange with Dr. Ashraf, that would be perfect. We also have faculty summits. I believe Nelson was talking about this morning. So the faculty summit is an event, usually a 3 or 4 day event, where we invite professors from around the world to sit with Googlers, present their latest work. The Googlers present their latest work as well. And then they engage in scientific discussions, which sometimes result in internships for the professors, or joint research, or an application for a research award. I'm going to talk about the different programs later on, but actually it's a very nice experience. And in 2009, we actually had a couple of days reserved for MENA professors, so Middle East and North Africa professors, where they sat together, produced, presented their own research that was locally relevant for the region. This was actually very, very interesting. And we kept in touch with those professors, and some of them, we asked them actually to apply for the Google Research Awards due to the kind of work that they presented, which was very interesting. So the MENA Summit, actually the Faculty Summit happens every year at the Zurich office. There is one next year. The date is not announced yet, but it's usually like in the first or second quarter of the year. Hopefully, with more professors being engaged with us, we can just have a MENA Faculty Summit, where we just have professors from the region talking about their research for the region. So this will be more condensed, more concentrated. What else? We have general programs that we offer everywhere, like the conference and travel grants. And the conference and travel grants are mainly aimed at female researchers, because we would like to encourage more and more the female participation in the academic community. I mean, these kinds of diversity events they make sense more in European communities, where actually the female participation in engineering related and computer science related fields are much less. But actually in our Arab world, magically we have a lot of females in the field, which is actually a great thing, and this is why we need to make use of such programs that already exist. And I think it's in the amount of, I mean, if there's a specific conference that is in the line of your research and also of interest to Google that you would like to attend as a female researcher, as a female faculty member, you get in the amount of, I think, 300 euros for registration and 400 euros for travel, which is not a bad amount. I mean, depending on the location of the conference. So if it's very close, then it's actually a very good contribution. We generally would like to support conferences and workshops that are in the field of the latest researches that Google is conducting. So if there is really a conference, a big one, or of which you would like to be a speaker, or you would like to attend, because that would help you with your own education or research, then also let us know, and we see if we can contribute to your attending this conference. We have research awards, and actually we have the second round of research awards, for which the deadline is February 1st next year. And the research award is a very interesting concept. So you have a good point that you're doing research in, and you would like to have some funding. And usually we give you a grant after reviewing the proposal. There are actually guidelines on the website. I'll give you the links later on. If you receive this award, which is an amount of, I think, between 10K to 150K US dollars, which is not a bad amount. Usually most of the grants have been around 20K, 15 to 20K. We also give huge grants, like in the last round of December 2010, which was just decided 3 days ago. We gave over 6 million US dollars for 112 proposals from around 20 different areas. So what you do with this money is you fund your own research, but any work that comes out of this research is entirely yours. So you spend the money, it's like a donation from Google to contribute to your enriching the research community. Okay, so note that the upcoming deadline is February 1st, 2011. We have also we started an interesting program, which is AndroidEDU, for the people who, for the researchers who are researching mobile engineering, mobile development. And if you just need devices between 2 and 10 maximum, we can actually offer you those devices. It's just you have to find a proposal that is interesting, that reaches a wide audience. That means not only within your university or research institution, but could be scalable to a wider audience. And of course, it should make the sensation or the study of computer science for students more tangible and more interesting. It should encourage the students. So if you have an idea for the next best Android application or whatever Android development proposal that you have, just send it to emiaengcampus@google.com. What else do we have in MENA? We have the visiting faculty program. So let's say you take a sabbatical and you would like to go work somewhere. Google actually hosts professors. It's similar, I mean, coming as a visiting faculty at one of our Google offices is kind of similar to getting hired. So you go through some sort of an informal interview. You go and work at the office for 6 months, a year, depending on how much time you have. And you either work on a project that already exists in that team, or a project that you're working on before, but is appealing to the kind of work done at this office, this Google office. If you would like to be considered for a visiting faculty, then send an email to visiting-faculty@google.com. We also do offer postdoc positions, and for that you still need to email emiaengcampus@google.com for more details, because it's also like hiring, so we need to have open vacancies for that. Now, finally, before wrapping up, these are the links. So we have the Google Research blog, where we post the latest news that Google announces for its own research, and the kinds of upcoming or interesting insights on research that Google is interested in. So this is the link, googleresearch.blogspot.com. We have the research portal, which I hope you're already familiar with, which is research.google.com. We have the Google Code University, which is actually a great portal for you to enrich your own course material. I talked about this morning, Google Code University. You have tutorials with exercises, with code snippets, with videos, even with course outline, with weeks, how you can do this. So please make use of these resources and encourage your students. And of course, if you would like to apply for a full-time or a part-time position at Google, you can email me at mina-recruitment@google.com. One last thing, if your students ask you whether we offer internships or not, at the time being, we don't have a pipeline for recruitment of interns from Mina. What we have is we accept only recommendations from you as faculty members. So if a student applies on their own without the support of a faculty member, unfortunately, we do not consider the application right now. So if you think you have a very good student that actually would fit at Google for an internship, that you would really like to see him go through this experience, because it's an enriching experience, then please do recommend them, also by sending an email to mina-recruitment@google.com. So please let your students know we do not accept our applications for internships for the time being. I hope to actually have that soon, but as we said, we talked about the challenges of education, and for the time being, I mean, I cannot say that every second graduate of computer science from the Arab world can work at Google. So until then, and with your help, we do not accept interns alone. You have to recommend them, okay? And most important thing for me is I need you to encourage your students, because you have the knowledge, you've been through a lot, they're still, I mean, I don't need to tell you that, but just encourage them to go and look for the piece of information. Encourage them by actually going hand in hand with them, by looking at their code if they come to you with questions. So for that, you need also to be up to date. And that's it. If you have any questions. Yes, please.
Sorry, why? Thank you. Would Google support incubators?
Well, I've been talking, I think, to you this morning. I'm
yes.
not sure. Yes. So for the time being, we do not have a general rule concerning incubators. What we have is a case-by-case study. So if you would like to have a research incubator with the mentorship of Google, or where we have actually Google engineers sitting there, then it is considered on a case-by-case basis. For the time being, no, the answer is no, we don't do that. Unless you have the greatest idea, then we consider this, and then we see the kind of a contribution we would do for this, either by sending engineers, or by hosting you and your team over, or by funding. It depends. So it's really, I need to see a proposal.
Why you don't support incubators to make our students know more extensively about your products, not something related to research?
Because I thought incubators, you mean research incubators?
No, not research. For students to know more about your
yes,
OS,
we do have student programs, and in the session following this one, since you don't have a following session, I would kindly like to invite you to come to the session where I will talk about opportunities for students. So they do have tons of ways to get in touch with Google and to know about Google's newest thing.
Thank you.
Yes, please.
Is the funding and the grant specific for MENA or the world?
Most of the programs that I talked about today are either existing in the world or a subset. So if you would like to, if you work at a university in MENA, then it's going to go through me. But if you would like me to connect you with, I mean, you don't work in MENA, and you would like to still apply for the grant, I can still connect you with the bigger team, the Europe or the US team. Yes, please.
Where can we get more information about your research awards? You know, you didn't even have a website?
Yes, so research.google.com. You can simply also type, let me check. If you type EMEA University Programs in your Chrome browser on Google, for example, then you will get among the top hits the EMEA University Programs, and there you have all the kind of, let me increase the font size a little bit. So you have information about grants and scholarships, events, sponsorship, technical resources. You'll find a lot of things on this page. Yes, please. You're welcome.
Hi.
Hi.
I have a comment, but I don't want to impress the doctors here. I'm very honest for this. The students do the research and the doctors get the credits.
Students do the research and doctors get the credit.
Yes.
I'm not sure that we can formulate that as a general statement. That would make sense, right? Okay. But then again, whatever we can do as Google in order to balance things out, we're trying to do. That means if professors cannot deliver the work because they're a little bit outdated on the information, then what we do is we're trying to bring them up again to the latest technology so that they can actually work with their own hands. But you cannot neglect a professor's experience, at least in the theoretical part, which is very important when you're doing research.
Some students have more experience than professors. I look in this.
Yeah, but some students and some professors, we're not getting anywhere, right? Yeah. Some and some, you have to tell me where I can go. Yes, please.
Sorry for my English. I studied in Russia for 9 years. For that, my English is a little poor. I think that the main problem in MENA, in Middle East, is that we are in two teams. Yeah, one team have knowledge and want to do researches here, not in England or in USA. Yeah, the other team who heat knowledge and heat the persons who can do something. Okay. Because we have two teams, exactly like this. Yeah. For that, we don't have, how to say, we have rights. In Jordan, I know that we have rights, we have law that can protect us. But we can be more stronger if we can, we have a team to work together. And I think that Google can make facilities for us to meet each other, to know each other.
We have the workshops, we have the faculty summits.
Yeah, to know each other.
We're trying to do the best. Yeah, if you have other suggestions.
We need a lot. We need to improve our communication skills. You know, because anybody here, from doctors, from professors, from students, have a knowledge, and this knowledge is dying with him. We didn't give it to others.
We don't want that.
No, we must accumulate this for others. We must.
And we want to acquire also new knowledge,
yes,
right? Because
yes.
Things are changing so rapidly in the field of IT and computer science that you don't want to only to keep the old knowledge, but you want to also keep adding to it.
Yeah, because.
And if anybody here, and thank you very much. If anybody here has other suggestions for actually making a merger of knowledge from professors in the region, that would be perfect. We have the workshops, we have the faculty summit, conferences. We enable professors to go to conferences, to meet, to communicate, to exchange, to share. And if you would like to suggest something else, please, I would love nothing more than this. Thank you. Sorry, can you just wait for a second? 5 minutes.
I will talk especially about Syria, for example. We have many universities in Syria, Damascus especially, But first of all programs, learning programs are in Arabic. So it doesn't make sense to translate everything into Arabic. So the program will be so hard. For example, if you say web page www الشبكة العنكبوتية العريضة. This is our program actually. So and it's too much expensive. Okay. So are we going to see in future Google University, for example, have Google programs, Google techniques to teach the IT field?
But I mean, you're talking now about two different things: the language and.
I'm just complaining about the language. Okay, I hope to see Google University, for example, the learning program all developed by Google. Okay, Google teachers.
Well, Google, let me tell you something about how I see Google. Google would like to see you do things. So we just give you like hints of things, specifically faculty. I mean, you just give them a drop of things and they can make out of it beautiful things. So we just give you like ideas of how to do things, but you eventually have to do the work. So I don't think we're going to have the manpower to have a university and Google teachers and, I mean, all the whole thing.
It will be really awesome.
Yeah, I'm sure, yes. So I'm sure, I mean, through our sources or online portals, we can offer a lot of knowledge that you can use. I hope so, at least. Yes, final comment.
I think you have your own software development life cycle at Google.
Yes. So
why don't you teach this at different universities, or you offer this as a overview at universities?
We're facing slightly more basic problems. I mean, I've taken a look at the quiz results. Nobody from the software engineering, I mean, the people who took the software engineering, and those were basic algorithmic questions. Nobody got the questions right. And I'm not claiming that the questions were easy, but I mean, our problems are even one step underneath software development. It's actually the basics. So, but it's a very good point that you're raising, that once we start acquiring one step at a time, definitely we'll have to do this as well. And this is why we offer for students internship programs, because if they come and work at Google, they would naturally acquire this feeling of what is this software engineering cycle and how to go from basic idea to full deployment and maintenance, right? So we're trying to balance a little bit. I'm not claiming that the approach for MENA is completely different, but we're trying to fine-tune, otherwise it wouldn't make sense. I mean, we're trying really to adapt to the needs of the region. And we see that the needs for supporting growing research and supporting educators in their struggle with universities and outdated curricula is slightly more important than just going to the business field right away. But you can, of course, tell me if you think that this is completely out of logic.
No, it's a logic, but I think the weakness at our universities is the lack of the participation of the industry at the universities.
Yes, I mean, we need to establish the healthy ecosystem. And for that, we need to get in touch with you, not as universities, but as superstar educators, superstar researchers. We need to get in touch with you first. And then you can tell us, you can show us what you're capable of. And this will increase, of course, the interest of companies. And later on, it will actually engage the governments as well, and the universities actually, to put more effort, to put more manpower, and to actually make changes. Okay. So, we have to go? Can I take one last question? Okay, please. Sorry, ladies.
Thank you. Don't worry, I support you. Just a simple question. You mentioned that you try to encourage faculty members and the academic system here in the Middle East by letting them innovate their own research topics and come up with their own ideas. What about giving ideas or offering research fields or projects?
I'm sorry, I will interrupt you very quickly,
yeah.
Because we want the research that comes out of the region to be based on the needs of the region. You do not expect an American company or a European office to tell the Middle Eastern region, you have to research that. The needs, the research have to be based on the needs, and the needs that come from the region. So we would really appreciate if you can come up with the ideas. So we can give guidelines. We say, yes, we're interested in geo, we're interested in maps, we're interested in health. And I'm sure that under each of these broad lines, there are tons of things that actually the region needs. Does it make sense?
It does.
Okay. I'm sorry, I have to run. I'm still